Unfortunately, mature hair loses shine, density, and volume. And over 50, we're even more concerned than ever about hair preservation, stopping that shedding, preventing thinning. Due to menopausal changes or genetic factors like female pattern hair loss, I experienced that around 47. So I had quite a few years trying to keep the hair that's on my head, and keep the hair strands and the hair shafts looking shiny and youthful. And it's not an easy battle. When I first experienced female pattern baldness, my whole focus was preventing hair loss. But since then, I've realized that hair care is really twofold: caring for the shafts of your hair as well as your scalp. I kind of think about it the same way I do skincare. I do a cleanse, I do a treat, and then I do a style, or my makeup for my hair, which is a style. So for cleansing, I've completely changed my routine. I only wash my hair twice a week, which may seem a little bit strange, but I think it's becoming more in vogue that you don't necessarily need to wash your hair every day. You're stripping your hair of those natural oils, similar to not everybody does a double cleanse morning and evening. Your schedule may vary depending on your activity, where you live, what kind of environment you're in, if you've done gardening that day. So I'm not saying 2 days only for a wash day, but that's what I typically do. That is my usual routine on a normal week. The first wash day is all about hydrating my scalp and hydrating my hair. And the second wash day is all about bond repair. I have really dry, brittle ends, and bond repair treatments are just the ticket for helping repair the ends of my hair so they don't end up looking like straw. I live in a very dry climate. I'm currently in a very humid climate, so I might do a bond repair treatment less depending on your environment. Today was a hydrating treatment for my scalp and my hair. I use the Hydrate shampoo line by PUREOLOGY, one of my all-time favorites. I have lots of hydrating shampoos that I love. The two that I've been trying this year that I've been sharing with you and ended up in my faves were the Roz shampoo and conditioner, as well as Virtue. But I happen to have a little travel size of the PUREOLOGY Hydrate line, so I brought that with me. You would think possibly that volumizing shampoo would be better because I have very thin hair, but I have found over the years that volumizing shampoos tend to strip my hair and they just dry it out even faster. On the very rare occasions where I feel like my hair or my scalp has some buildup, I'll use a detoxifying or clarifying shampoo or a dandruff shampoo, but I tend to steer clear of these because I find that they dry out my hair and my scalp. My second wash day is all about bond repair. I tend to have very dry, brittle ends, especially living in Colorado. It's even drier and more brittle. And so I do a bond repair treatment once a week. Some people do them once a month. So it really just depends on the quality of your hair. I find once a week works perfectly for me. Some of the products that I love are the Living Proof Bond Repair. I also used to use the K18. I liked it, but I like Living Proof a little bit better for my hair. And sometimes I use the EPRES, which is a little bit lighter. I showed you that a couple weeks ago in one of my vlog day routines that you spray it on, you leave it 10 minutes, and then you jump in the shower and just do your routine. So they're all types of bond repair treatments. I don't like the ones where you jump in the shower, you put it on, then you get out of the shower, and then you go back in. I just can't be bothered with that. I like one that you either use after or before. And on occasion, I will use an oil treatment, either castor oil, a little bit of castor oil, a little bit of the OGX, put that on, and then sleep in that overnight. So I do a variation of bond repair treatments. I have a little bit of secret information for you about a new bond repair treatment that's coming out from a huge hair company. And if it is launched and it's not under embargo, I will put it in the description and the pinned comment. But until then, I have to keep my lips sealed. Very curious about that. But whatever bond repair treatment you enjoy, I honestly think it's a great addition for mature hair to work that into your hair wash schedule. I have very sensitive hair that likes to turn yellow with any type of heat styling, any type of UV exposure. It is absolutely crazy. So every once in a while, I'll throw in a purple shampoo as opposed to my hydrating shampoo, usually on my bond repair nights, because I just have to get the brassiness out. And KÉRASTASE seems to work perfectly to kind of get that yellow out. After cleansing is your treatment step, just like your skincare. You cleanse and then you treat. And just like regenerative skincare is great for mature skin, regenerative scalp care is great for the mature scalp. I use low-level laser light therapy. I have for years, just like I use LED red light therapy for my face. I also use it for my scalp. Now, this is the original laser cap. I picked this up years ago. It was brand new. You used to have to go in for in-office LED red light therapy treatments 16 or 17 years ago, and they had just come out with this cap, and I picked it up. And it's a little bit different as opposed to some of the other LED red light therapy caps because it has laser diodes. And I'm going to do a review of LED red light therapy caps, low-level laser light therapy caps in another video, but I just wanted to let you know this has been a core in my scalp treatment routine for years and years and years. The second thing that I've had in my scalp care routine for the past 16 years is ROGAINE. And the newest addition to my scalp treatment is CALECIM. Now, I've done videos on this over the last 4 years. I introduced it about 4 years ago. I've used it, then I've gone off it, and I am back on it. I use it every 4 months. It's a 6-week system, and you also use it with microneedling. This is a stem cell serum with 3,000 proteins. It has cytokines, exosomes, and growth factors, and it is harvested from the red deer. And I have had wonderful results using the serum along with microneedling, because when I give these 3 up, LED low-level laser light therapy, minoxidil, and the CALECIM, I end up having tremendous shedding. And I'll show a picture here of when I kind of slowed down my scalp care routine. And you can see I kind of started reverting back to what my hair was doing when I was 47 and not implementing any of these scalp treatments. The reason these treatments work is because they keep the hair in the growth phase longer. They reduce inflammation. They just give your scalp that fertilizer that it needs to keep going and keep growing. It's called regenerative skincare or regenerative scalp care. Basically, it just means it makes our scalp and our skin act younger. Just like we use actives on our skin, using actives for your scalp will benefit the health of your mature hair and your mature scalp. In the morning, I'll do my LED red light therapy cap 3 to 4 times a week for 30 minutes. That's kind of the protocol that they recommend. And I'll put a little bit of minoxidil on and then go about styling my hair. I've also recently been adding a good scalp massage after my minoxidil treatments in the morning and after my scalp serum treatments in the evening. In the evening, if I'm doing the CALECIM treatment system, I do come up a little bit early because this takes a little bit of time to do the microneedling step. So I do the microneedling, I put on the serum, kind of let that soak in a little bit, and then put on my minoxidil. Now, I'm not doing the CALECIM treatment every single day because this is only 2 times a week. So sometimes I'm just coming up and doing my minoxidil. I definitely use the minoxidil twice a day. I've found that if I back off, I don't get the results that I like. And of course, as we all know, this is not a treatment that you can stop. If you do stop minoxidil, you will experience shedding. So it's kind of it's a big commitment. Now, on the times when I'm not in that 6-week rotation with CALECIM, I've been using the ONESKIN scalp serum. I love it. I always have a scalp serum in rotation. This is the one that I'm using right now, and I love it because it has that proprietary peptide that helps with senescent cells. Those cells are just hanging around, causing trouble and inflammation. So that's what I use when I'm not on the 6-week rotation. And I will map all this out because it can get a little bit confusing down in the comments, the pinned comment, and in the description. If you want to cut and paste my routine and give it a try, I would love for you to try it and let me know how it works out. So that's my morning and my evening treatment step. Also, just a quick reminder, if you are having hair loss, definitely talk to a professional, a dermatologist or your physician about your hair loss issues because you don't want to go down a path that doesn't lead you in the right direction. And a medical diagnosis is probably the best way to start if you're experiencing sudden hair loss. Now on to styling for volume. I'm all about trying different styling products. As you know, I'm a Kenra fan. I've used it for years. I love their texture spray and their hairspray, and I try to keep the styling products to a minimum because they do tend to weigh down your hair. If you have thin hair, using a lot of styling products can actually just weigh it down. But I've been trying a new volumizing mousse. This was recommended by my mom, and this is what I use today to get this amazing volume. I am so impressed. I also recently started using Velcro Rollers because it's a really easy, cool styling treatment, and then shooting it with just a little bit of cool air to dry it up. When we first got here on vacation, I did use the K18 because I decanted a little bit in a travel size and then did that with my cool style rolling with the Velcro Rollers. And then I thought, I'm just gonna pick up the Moroccan oil root boost that my mom suggested and give it a try. Velcro rollers are really popular right now. They do take a little bit of practice, but they give great volume to the hair. I'm using it here with the K18 Astrolift. The key to Velcro rollers and getting volume is getting thin sections and starting at the top of your head with the larger rollers and working your way down to the smaller ones, making sure all along the way that you don't have any tangles. Another tip for getting volume with Velcro rollers is to over-direct your hair, meaning that you slightly angle your hair in the opposite direction that it grows as you roll down. After I'm done rolling, I leave the rollers in for about a half an hour. I run around, get dressed, grab a cup of coffee, do my skincare, do my makeup, and if they're still a little bit damp, sometimes I will hit the rollers with a little bit of cool air to speed things up before I do my styling. After I feel like my hair is dry, I unroll from the bottom up. This is really important because if you unroll from the top down, it's very likely that your hair is going to tangle in the rollers. Here's the finished volume with the K18. The next day I decided to try the Moroccan Root Boost. I think this gave me a little bit better of a boost. If you have any hair care tips, whether they're scalp care, hair care, let me know down in the comments. I am always willing to try new products. I may not be willing to try new products in my treatment step because I've been so fortunate to find a system that works really well for me, that helps me keep the density of my hair and prevent overshedding. It was just so nice to be in a day and age where we have all this technology that can help with hair health as well as skin health. Thank you so much for watching and wishing you all a hair-tastic day.